bumped into Michael Conrad, who was the Global Chief Creative Officer at Leo Burnett for 10 years and went into retirement in the year 2002. And they said, Michael, we want to do something to increase creative quality. What should we do? And this was the insight that Michael Conrad brought. He had been the president of the jury in Cannes. He had really turned Leo Burnett around globally in terms of their creative rankings. And he said, you know, the same agencies are winning in Cannes year after year. It's the same people. 80% of the agencies that are winning in Cannes are the same agencies that won last year and the year before and the year before. And for him, the key thing was leadership. It wasn't about just one great idea, winning a lot of awards. It was about the people who were running the agencies and even the clients themselves. And it was about the leadership. It was the priorities they were setting. It was about the culture they were creating in their company. So with this insight, that leadership was the key to increasing creative quality, this was the idea that launched the Berlin School. And so the idea became, okay, let's do a business school. Let's do a leadership school for the creative industries. The world has ad schools, media schools, journalism schools. It did not have a leadership school for any of these industries. And this was the idea behind the Berlin School. So a couple of thoughts of us. Like I said, we're the first and only institute for executive level leadership education in the creative industries. We have an executive MBA. Our mission, the first mission we wrote down was to turn great creatives into great creative leaders. And the vision that we have now come up with, which we really love pushing, is to put a creative CEO in every creative enterprise. This is important because, as many of you see in your own companies, who is at the top? Usually the people at the top are the lawyers, or the accountants, or the finance people, the suits, with all due respect to people wearing suits today. It's usually not the creatives. And we think that all of the creative industries would be better served if the people who are rising up and know the product, know the work, would be equipped with the tools to lead the company. So this is why the Berlin School exists. We do a lot of things at the advertising industry level, but we are not just about the advertising industry. It's important to know that the Berlin School, we really feel like we should unite all of the creative industries. So we have people in the room from advertising, but we also have people from media. Russia Today, I don't know if you know that channel. A woman who's leading that company is at our program right now. She's in Berlin this week. So it's important to get everyone talking. That's why at this festival it's great to see, the digital people, not just, let's say, the creatives. One of the things that's important about the school is that we are an industry that started a business school. We are not a business school chasing an industry. And the important distinction is that the people who helped build our program came from these industries. And so we rely on them to give a lot of insights into how to run different businesses in different sectors. These are some of the things that we're trying to teach people when they come in. I mean, the question is, what do you teach creative people when you want to teach them how to lead? So we try to do some practical things, accounting, strategy, other things. We also talk a lot about personal things. Leadership is a very personal thing. It's very much about figuring out who you are and introspection. I'll get to that a little later. We like to teach analytical thinking, and then again, we do try and give you leadership skills. A couple slides about the way our program works, just so you understand it. We go around the world. We do 3 modules in Berlin, 1 in the US, 1 in Asia. This is how we structure it because everyone is very busy. They keep their jobs while they are with us. So we have 5 modules, and you can do it over 1 or 2 years. It's very flexible. I have some brochures here. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the sales stuff. I'd rather talk about leadership with you guys. A couple things about the way we structure the class. We bring in top faculty from business schools around the world, and then we combine them with CEOs and great creatives from the industry. I don't know if you're from WPP agencies, you might recognize little Martin Sorrell there, has spoken at the school. Or if you know Madonna, the man who signed the record deals for Madonna there is Seymour Stein. He's been a great friend to the school. So this is the importance of the school, is bringing the business school knowledge together with the creative industry knowledge. That is kind of our secret recipe for teaching people how to get creative excellence. If you know the Pop Idol format, American Idol, Got Talent, all of those formats, Alan Boyd on the upper right is running the company that developed those TV formats. So one thing to note, and this is too small to read from a distance, so I'll just explain what it is. The important thing about what we do is we want it to be extremely relevant for people. So everyone works on a master's thesis, which is their own piece of research to figure out how to get their company or their organization to another level. It's very important that everyone come back from the Berlin School with knowledge they can use in their company. And so people come in with a strategic question and say, okay, in my company, we have to figure out how to integrate that little digital shop that we started with the rest of the organization. So I want to do my thesis on integrating that. Or, I'm from the Russian market, and luxury goods are a huge issue here. I'd like to look at the importance and the relevance of how to crack that market. Anything that's important to your company or you or your market or your industry, that's what we want people to work on. We want people to work on the strategic question that's going to take you to another level creatively. One of the things we love about the school is it has become a big family. It's a global community. We have people from more than 50 countries that have done our program now, actually, instead of 40 plus. And it's perhaps the only time in your life that you can make friends with people at the professional level and share your experiences. I'll fly through the testimonials. It's not necessarily important. The average age is about 38. As you can see, advertising is about half of our participants, and then evenly split among the other creative industries, especially have a lot of marketers and people from entertainment. These are things that we think are important. If you're going to lead well, if you're going to be a great creative leader, we think these are, we call them our 6 pillars, which sounds like kung fu, I suppose. These are the things that we think you should come out of our program with, or anyone, any program, if you're going to be a good creative leader. We want you to work on leading yourself, leading your partners, which is very important, leading, of course, people within the organization, leading the enterprise strategically, leading your own product and innovation, and then leading your industry. Many of our participants create chapters of the Art Directors Club or the International Ad Association or other things. Many create their own training and school programs in their country. We love having people lead the industry that come out of our program. Here's the logo graveyard of some of the companies that have put people in our program. We've had really wonderful support. I don't need to spend a lot of time on that and the testimonials. This is one of the things we're really proud of. The man holding the lion in the middle. So this is Agency of the Year in Cannes 2 years ago. That's Marcelo Serpa from Alma BBDO. He was the first person who believed in the school. He put Luis Sanchez in the program. I don't know if you can see him. He's the fourth one from the left. He was the first person that ever signed up for the school. Alma now has 4 people that have done our program. And for 2 years in a row, they have been the Agency of the Year in Cannes. So we're really proud of the fact that they got to another level with us. Luis, like I said, the first person who ever signed up for us. I think he won 40 Lions the year before last in Cannes. It's crazy. He's leading a really amazing team in Brazil. And this is the first time that an agency in the Southern Hemisphere was Agency of the Year. So if Brazil can do it, I know Russia can do it. Adrian Botan from McCann in Romania won 9 Lions a couple of years ago. And again, this was a market emerging from communism. Adrian has an amazing story to tell about growing up under communism, under Ceausescu, and how that affected the way that they view advertising and the way the Romanian market works. And he spent 10 years building a team and getting them to a good level, winning awards nationally, winning awards at Golden Drum. And then 2 years ago, he finally won his first Lion and his second through 9th Lion all in 1 week. So he's really had an explosion. This is important to us to show too. We are not just about the big agencies. Otis runs his own agency in Chicago, and half of our participants are from small independent agencies. Many times it is the person who founded the agency or thinks they maybe want to start an agency one day. And we love the fact that these guys also can celebrate big wins. So Otis has a small agency in Chicago, but he is doing the global account for Singha beer from Thailand, which seems kind of strange. But Otis is a wonderful guy, and this is important to us, that we celebrate these kind of victories of our participants. So enough about EMBA details. We do also a program in Cannes for those of you who might be interested. It's a 2-week program called the Cannes Creative Leaders Program. If you look on the Cannes website, you can find more. I'm flying through a bit of the sales stuff because I'd rather talk a little bit more about leadership. If you are interested at all in us, I can give you some cards and brochures after we speak. So let's talk about creative leadership. Okay, we started this school. We want to try and teach people to get better and get better creative work out of their teams, to convince their CEO, if you're the marketing person, to demand good creative work from an agency. So what do we believe? A couple questions about leadership. I'd like to talk just for a few minutes about that because it's the core of what we do. It's